Hello, beautiful people. Carl here from Games, Brains and a Headbanging Life. gbhblofficial.com for short, and it is the state of things. Consider yourself lucky to even get in this video. I know how arrogant that sounded. I did it on purpose. But yeah, no, seriously, this is a struggle. This is a struggle because I'm motoring on bugger all sleep and I have no time. I know that makes me sound like a broken, bloody record. But no, today is Friday, the day before the state of things goes up, which is obviously on a Saturday. But today is Friday. It is 4:30. I'm shortly about to have to go on social media and go through the usual rigmarole of tagging all the bands for the single slam that's about to go live at 5 p.m. And I've just recorded some horror reviews, video reviews as well, sitting in this position. And doing all this motoring on very little sleep, but also knowing that tomorrow, Saturday, I will have no time at all to do any videos because I'll be out from very early in the morning until very late at night. Why? Because it's Incineration Fest tomorrow. Yes, as of the time recording, the one-day Extreme Metal Festival Incineration Fest takes place. You can go watch some videos on the channel if you want to see me run through the lineup, the stage, times, and I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my favourite day festivals of the year, and it takes place in my city, my home city of London, and my favourite place in London, Camden. Camden gets a bad rap, man. Obviously, it's got its negatives, you know. It's tourist trap hell, particularly from outside the station and all the way up to the lock. And the market's up that end. They've kind of pulled the heart of that place out, but I understand a lot of why it's happened. You got to be careful around it, of course. You know, obviously crime and stuff like that, but that's London in general or any major city. But yeah, these are, you know, it's got all that stuff that's problematic, but what it offers, I just fucking adore. I love going there. I love the pubs. I love the Black Heart. I love the Dev. I love the World's End. I love the venues. I love the Electric Ballroom. I love the Underworld. I love further up, the Roundhouse up at Chalk Farm. I love fucking Camden. So I'm always glad to be there. It's probably why I spend most of my time when it comes to going out and drinking these days. You'll mostly find us in the Black Heart. It's definitely become my top one there, but I adored the Dev as well. Really, it just depends on the night, depends on what I'm doing, depends on what I'm feeling. Black Heart obviously does food, the Dev doesn't. The Black Heart's food is fucking delicious. LD's Kitchen is really, really good. Well worth the money. Thoroughly recommend you try it at least once. Still haven't done the Sunday roast, so I'd like to try that one day. I hear, obviously, that's very popular, and I hear it's very, very good, and I imagine it must be delicious one day. But for now, I've mainly just had the mac and cheese, very filling, very stodgy, as mac and cheese should be. I've had the sort of like heaped chips, a few other bits as well and all that. But I just love it. I just love it. The beer choice can be a little all over the place, but I love it. But I love the Dev tier and I love the music and it's a great time. Then, of course, I love the venue upstairs. So Camden tomorrow. Can't wait. Really looking forward to it. And the reason why I'm tired, basically the reason why I'm tired is because it's work related. I am on nights at the moment. But unlike my usual run where I'd have 7 nights in a row, this has been a block of 3 nights, 2 days off, and then 2 more at the end. So basically, I got 2 annual leave days booked ages ago because of Incineration Fest, slap bang in the middle of my nights. And it can be difficult to get annual leave days in the middle of a set of nights, so I appreciate my my managers for sorting me out. You know, they're not going to be my managers much longer. I'm going to get onto that point in a minute. But, you know, they're good guys. They're good guys, 4 of them. The fellas, they're good guys. They treated me well since I came over from the Bakerloo line and I joined Leytonstone in 2021? Yeah, 2021. The company's kind of screwed them all over, forced them into jobs they never wanted to do, and then has taken those jobs away from the majority. You know, there's a big thing occurring in June, basically. It's a restructuring of the management system and a more emphasis on the supervisors. So a lot of managers are going out the door. Or being bumped down to supervisory positions or back to supervisory positions. And a lot of more supervisors are coming in. Basically, it's going to be the major dominant grade. And that has meant a shit ton of roster changes, station changes, a lot of things there as well. They just will not stop fiddling with stations. And the joke is, this is a regression. This is us going back to a formula that we existed before 2016. In 2016, something happened what they called Fit for the Future. It was a significant shake-up of the station structure and it caused problems that are now going back on. Of course, they're implying that it's not a regression, but we all know exactly what it is. But there we go. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into that side of things, politics of work and stuff like that. Let's just say, you know, obviously I wasn't a supervisor pre-2016. From up to 2016, I was what we called a SCRA or a SCRO, Station Control Room Operator, Station Control Room Assistant. depending upon what part of the Jubilee line or other parts of the area you worked in. I was in the Jubilee line extension, and I would have done that job in the control room to the end of my time in the company. Would have done it happily. Pay was fine. Certain level of responsibility, not too much. There was a supervisor who was always the one where the buck stopped. And then he said, nope, that job's going. But the replacement are going to make you a supervisor. And yeah, I didn't want that. A lot of us didn't want that. But we kind of took it. And obviously 2016 onwards, I've been a supervisor now for 9 years. 9 years. And I've been a supervisor on the Bakerloo line. That's where I started in 2016 to 2021. Bakerloo line, Queen's Park to Harrow and Willstone. I was up there. And then I have been a supervisor on the Leytonstone area, which is Leyton to Woodford. That is my stations. But that changes. That ends in June. But I'll come back to that. I'm tired because basically, yeah, obviously doing just 3 nights means my body's got no time to adapt. But today, I made sure I didn't get much sleep. I got in about 7:10, 7:15. I messed around for about 15, 20 minutes, doing a few bits this morning. Then I went straight to sleep. Set an alarm for 12 o'clock, set like 10 alarms, and got up at midday. So not too much sleep, because idea is tonight I want to be tired enough that I just go to sleep through to the morning tomorrow, get up, and yeah, off we go to Incineration Fest. It's not been easy to sleep either, because we are featuring a little bit of a early summer heat wave in the UK, in London area right now. People complaining that it's too hot. You're all crazy, man. I love the warmth. I am loving this. I just haven't been able to appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to appreciating it tomorrow. So much so that, like, we're going up the Camden very early. We're going to go out. We're going to get some coffee. We're going to take a walk from maybe Euston and just enjoy that lovely ass walk. Just want to be out in the sun, because I haven't really had the opportunity to enjoy it. I see pictures of everybody else enjoying it. It's so I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous, but I can't wait to do it. And obviously Sunday I expect to be thoroughly hungover. And then I'll be back to work that night anyway, once I get over my hangover. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. It's the major thing this week. Obviously, as you know, if you've been watching the previous videos, there's shit going on in my life right now. Obviously, I've been kind of keeping you up to date about the house buying process. This week's actually been pretty quiet. Everything, after such a manic week last week, a lot of things kind of just, we're now just waiting on things. So the week started with us finally and getting a survey booked in. This is one, conveyance survey that's being done by us. That's going to happen next week. Fingers crossed that comes back with no major issues that we're not completely already aware of. So we can just go on with that. As of today, the rest of the week's been pretty quiet. We signed a couple of a document to do with the mortgage offer that we have had. And today, that's now, the broker was bugging us today saying that they couldn't get hold of the estate agent to book in a mortgage valuation. So we kind of intervened in that and put a bit of pressure. I managed to get all that sorted. Yeah, this is what we figured we'd have to do. It's frustrating that we have to do it. You get an email from your broker saying, oh, yeah, I can't get hold. No one's answering the phone and I can't get any answers from you. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, as a seller, like, as well as a estate agent, your job is to sell a bloody house. You want the commission, don't you? So get on with it, It's very frustrating. But yeah, basically, not that much has been going on. We've got 3 major dates. May 6th, which is the conveyance survey. May 14th, which is the valuation survey, the mortgage valuation. And I think May 23rd is when we should get all the solicitor stuff back. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Please cross your fingers for us. We might be wrapped and done end of May, beginning of June. That would be really nice. I'm hoping once everything's all, like, it all just happens really quick from that point after everything comes back and it's all okay. Hopefully, because, yeah, we're at that stage now. You might, I don't know, can you see it? So we're not doing anything like packing or anything like that, really. However, we've had to do a few little things just really to make some room elsewhere. Now we kind of thinking long term. So, for example, there was normally a bookcase here that's now gone and been packed up in the boxes and put to the side. Mainly because I wanted to get behind the area and clean it. Beyond that, we're not really doing much because, of course, as I've said before, until those contracts are signed, I am not taking this for granted at all. But my mind can't help it. My mind constantly goes to it and thinks of things and thinks of this, that, whatever. I'm setting up the camera, I'm setting up the area here that I'm going to record these videos, and all I'm thinking is I can't wait to the point where I no longer have to do this specific thing. The idea is in the new area, in the new world, my new home, if it's the place that we're going for right now, the area that we have earmarked for the office area will have this camera set up all the time. I will simply just have to step in front of it and press record. That will make such a difference, because it sounds silly, but sometimes it's hard to be motivated to do videos where I have to pull everything out and set it up and reposition everything. Do you know what I mean? It's a small thing, but when you're not really feeling it, it can feel like a lot of effort. Like this, like even doing this, setting this up, it's felt like a lot of effort. It helps. I've got an interview later on tonight, which is kind of keeping me focused and making sure I know I can't fully relax, because I can't be like, you know what, just sack the day off and play Xbox and don't worry about doing anything else. No, I've got to get on with stuff, particularly as there's always videos to do, you know. It's hard because obviously some of the videos rely on others, and I'm constantly having to check in with what they're doing. You know, Damon's always wonderfully available for me, and I really appreciate that of him. Liam, we need a little bit more planning. Of course, Brendan, I wish we could do more together, but the man obviously is incredibly busy. He does a high-pressure job, an incredibly high-pressure job, and works very, very hard. So I always like... You know, I don't want to bug him too much or bother him too much. You know, so that's why you maybe don't get as many reaction videos and things like that from us as I would like, you know, so to speak. Oh, he'll tell me, I'll just message him and stuff like that. But, you know, obviously, with my limited time frames and hours and things like that, it does make it difficult. Of course, Brendan has a young daughter as well. So all this stuff that kind of means sometimes getting videos together can be a lot of headache and a lot of work. So even a small thing like having all the equipment already set up will massively benefit me. I know it's like first world problem shit, isn't it? You know, I can do this and I enjoy doing it. I really, really do. And here I am complaining. But anyway, going back, right? So let's go back to the houseband thing. So imagine all of this stuff starts to wrap up around June. That could be good timing as well, because download is shortly afterwards. Lou's birthday is happening at the beginning of June as well. There's a lot going on. We're going to Scotland for a few days in June. There's a lot going on in June, the beginning of June. So I'm kind of hoping maybe the house stuff will either wrap up at the end of May, or we'll hold out maybe to like a couple of weeks into June, just because that first week to two could be crazy busy. I will happily take it all being sorted. I'd rather have the keys to the place than not. Hey, what are you doing? Some of the boxes are stacked up behind our couch there, just over there out of view, because it's a good place to kind of keep them. But obviously I've got cats, and Moxley's just come in. Haven't seen him all day. He's been in the spare room, and now he's just wandered in. Now he's sitting in a box up there, up high, staring at me at. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Yeah, you. Anyway, so I would happily take whenever. I don't care if we're away for a bit or this. As long as we got those keys, we are more than happy. I've talked to you about the fact that we are still in contract in this flat, but we have money to cover the shortfall of all of that, so we can basically stay in this flat for a bit longer anyway. We haven't got to rush and move in to what will be the, fingers crossed, the new place. All right, now they're both at it, and they're both awake now, and they look like they're about to start rocking. Go out, they're leaving, they're going out to the hallway, so that's a good thing. Bloody cats, man. I'm looking forward to them having more room, a house, with 2 floors, well, 3 floors in total, really, than this sort of flat. It's a decent sized flat, but even still, that should really help them to have a little bit more territory to move around. It might mean we'll be able to get a few more bits for them as well. Anyway, I keep kind of getting, off topic, but that is the state of things in general, isn't it? The state of things and the state of me. What was I saying? Right. Something else is now significantly happening in the middle of June. June 22nd to be exact, and I found it this week. I kind of mentioned it earlier on, but I'm leaving the Leytonstone group on June 22nd. I found it this week. It was always obviously going to happen because I had a nomination in for another set of stations. My goal has always been, and always will be, don't worry too much about the money. I just want to be closer to home. So it was never about necessarily getting promotion or moving jobs or things like that, because a lot of that often ends up throwing you throwing caution to the wind, and then it ended up getting a new job or a new promotion in it, and then having to go wherever they send you until you can eventually nominate your way back to where you want to be. This nomination has been in place since 2016, 2017. So it's taken a long time for this to come around, because it is what's considered dead man's shoes stations. But with the significant changes that I talked about earlier on, it's meant the rosters for these stations has massively increased in my grade, the supervisor grade. So it's come up. How it works, folks, I think I told you before, is that you nominate the stations you want to go to, and bit by bit, your number will drop. Your number will drop until eventually you won't even know. You might. I have never been, in all my time with nominations, I've never seen my number be at number 1. I've never seen it. It's always been like, I think for Leytonstone it was 5, and then boom, I got the letter. because it will just happen like that. For these stations, the last I looked, I was 11. And then I've just received the letter. And that's how it works. You receive a letter saying, no, it's notification of movement, something like that. The letter saying, right, you're off, and this is where you're going, and this is the date you're going on. You really can't turn it down. There are circumstances where you can try and argue the toss, but these days it's harder than ever because your move means someone else is moving into, like me leaving the Leytonstone group means someone's taken my place, and that person leaving their area means someone's taken their place. If you turn around and go, oh, I just forgot, that's not going to fly. They're going to go, well, tough, you're moving, because basically after a year you can move again, and the nominations you might have for other groups or areas stay. They're just frozen for that 1 year. But yeah, once it comes up, you basically kind of have to move outside of extreme scenarios, and you're going to have to really argue and explain why the hell you didn't take yourself off the nominations if that was the case. But anyway, people forget, so it has happened. I'm happy to move. I am more than happy to move, but it took me by surprise. It was like, oh my God. And it was like, oh my God. When I saw the date, I was like, oh my God, this is so much change. I'm moving home. I'll be moving home in theory. Fingers crossed. I'm definitely going to be moving. And here's the thing, not just stations, but jobs as well. Sort of. So my grade supervisor, CSS as it's known, customer service supervisor, is split into two, 1 and 2. CSS1, CSS2. I'm a CSS2. But CSS1 is not like something you kind of go for. You just step up into it when the nomination becomes available. The only difference is one particular part of a license. But obviously there's a pay difference too, and station based. So CSS1s work predominantly in the bigger, larger stations. CSS2s in the smaller ones, out of the sticks, end of lines, things like that. That's what I've been. Where I'm going is CSS1. It is a pay up increase. It is a grade increase. It is a promotion for all intents and purposes. But I don't care about that. It's all about being closer to home. And these stations that I'm going to, I can't get any closer, including the house we're going for. It still benefits all of that. So I'm going to these new stations. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to it's Canary Wharf. It'll be Canary Wharf, North Greenwich, and Canada War. That's what I'll be in the future. There's my 3 stations. And I'm pleased, I'm pleased. But of course, it's change. And I do handle these change pretty well for the most part. This is a significant set of changes that when I stop to think about, I get a bit like, oh my God. But for the most part, I'm excited. I'm interested. I'm pleased. In the case of North Greenwich, it's going back to, basically, I started my career 2003 at that station. So I'm going back in a way, but I've never worked at Canary Wharf and I've never worked at Canada War. So that's 2 stations, brand new stations there. But yeah, I'm going back in a very different situation. But the fact it's all happening at once is very, very interesting. And, some of it I can't even fully all around the same time. Some things are booked in, like Lou's birthday plans and Lou's birthday event, the trip to Scotland and all that. But for example, download, I've applied for press for that. I'm hoping I'm going to get it. But right now I can't guarantee I will. And I don't know necessarily if I'm going to be going. I planned as if I am going to be going. Because worst case scenario, I would really like to at least do the day and maybe the Friday. But there's other things like that as well. It's just going to keep me really, really busy, which is good because it's a nice distraction. It's a nice distraction from having just to wait for things. Because that's it. All I am now is waiting. I'm going to be slowly winding down my time on the Leytonstone group. I have 2 weeks of annual leave in between the next one, because it's about 2 months to I leave. I've got 2 weeks of annual leave, so it's about 5 to 6 weeks of work left there. And I'm not the only one. I am one of, I think I've been told 12 people leaving. So a lot of people are leaving as well. And of course, the management structure is changing significantly as well. And that area is growing from 5 stations to 10. It's going to be going all the way up to Epping. So I kind of feel like I'm getting out at a good time. But, I'm going to miss a lot of these people. And you can say, well, keep in contact and all that. You just don't in this job. You just really, really don't. It's not rude to sort of say as well. I spent a lot of time with these people and I'm friendly and I respect and like a lot of them. Still just colleagues when it comes down to it, so to speak. I was lucky when I was younger to make some true friends in the job, but these days it's harder than ever was before because of the way you move around and things like that. But there are plenty of people that I like and plenty of people that I miss and plenty of people that I've spent a lot of time with. It was funny when I moved over from the Bakerloo line. Ended up a couple of colleagues who I worked on the Bakerloo line ended up coming over as well a year later. So I've known a lot of these people for quite a lot of time. And, it's going to be sad to say goodbye to people because in theory, most of these people I will never see again. Either they'll be leaving the job in the next couple of years for retirement, or just that there's no reason why we'll ever see each other again. There is a bit of a joke on the job, which is you never really say goodbye to people. You just say see you later. I like the term see you further down the line because, lines, tube lines. I know, right? Really fucking nerdy. But I like that as well. But it does happen. You'll be amazed that you won't see people there'll be people I'll be now seeing back at when I go to my new stations. I'll be seeing them for the first time in 10 years. Because I know that some of them still work there. Or have moved there and so on. My new area manager, the one, is going to be my old area manager from the bacon. See what I'm saying? Like you never really say goodbye to people. You just say see you later. You'll end up running into them further down the line. But yeah, some significant changes. I am fine with it. If you were actually concerned about my mental state, all this stress of moving house or potentially moving house or trying to buy a house, and then at the same time moving jobs and areas, or roughly the same time. What? No, I'm really cool. I'm really cool about this. I'm chilled about it. It's not my first rodeo on the job side of things. I'm looking forward to it. I will just take each day as it comes in that regard. And yeah, with the house stuff, we're just constantly waiting. We're a team. And I mean that in the sense that the estate agents, the solicitors and all of that, and sometimes it's completely out of control. So we're just going to deal with it bit by bit by bit. And hopefully each time I come in here to speak to you, I'll be able to tell you it's a little bit closer. I can't wait till I get to sit here and tell you. Well, you'll know probably by the smile on my face how excited I am when it's all going to change. That might mean there's some shortage of videos around that time, because obviously with moving and getting things up may not be quite as simple as just getting a lot of videos up, but I'm going to try and be consistent. I'm going to leave it there. I really don't want to go too long today. I just wanted to kind of fill you in on those sort of significant things that have been happening this week. That's the point of the state of things. I didn't really tell you anything at the start about the site. Nothing really to say at the moment. And the same, the whole soundtrack thing. What was I listening to? I've not played this game, but it's on my list. And it was recommendation actually from the Pupil Slicer's vocalist as well, when we did a video game interview, I think late last year, Kate, and it's Outer Wilds, and it's on my list, but I've been listening to that soundtrack. I came across that soundtrack by accident, and a song really hit me, and I've been listening to a lot of that music. It's really, really nice. It's made me excited to play the game. I think I'm going to finish up what I'm playing right now, which is the hella remastered version of Shadows of the Damned. And then I'm probably going to move on to that. Can't wait to do that if I have time, because, well, when do I have time for anything? But you know what I did have time for? To talk to you. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any thoughts you want to share with me, any words of encouragement, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.